Hello, hello, they're back. Hello, hello, hello. Wow, it's fat. All right. This is like what? Oh, and they're all wow. What are such nice people like you doing in such a place like this? Awesome. Hello, Chris. Hello, Cheska. Hello, Katie. Hello, Michelle. Hello, Alan. Hello, Maria. Hello, Paulina. Welcome back. And also, oh, good. Okay, I'm now reading the chat. And there's people. And obviously, I know some of you. I'm not pretending to know everybody. Wait, okay. I'm going to read the chat now. I'm going to say good afternoon, Michelle Q. Good afternoon, Maria. Good afternoon, Victoria. Good afternoon, Alan. Good afternoon, Michelle F. Good afternoon, Marilyn. Good afternoon, Freddie. Hello, Steve. Oh, wait, is that a serious thing? Wait, hello, Steve. That might be an actual. I never know whether he's joking or not. No, he's talking about Minecraft. Well, we'll get to that. All right. Well, hello, Chris. In any case, good afternoon, Emily. No, it is not a bother. I am so psyched. But yes, but hello, Michelle F. And also, I do have to admit, Michelle F was one of the very first people to sign up to Google Classroom. I'm just saying. Okay, not that it's a competition because it totally isn't, but it totally is not. Good afternoon, Paulina. Good afternoon, Stephanie. Good afternoon, Allison. Nice to meet you. I will meet you more in a moment, or better in a moment. And thank you for saying good afternoon. Like you totally get it. Good afternoon, Jada. And good afternoon, Brooke. Same thing. Nice to meet you. Welcome. Good to have you. Thank you for saying hello. That is totally, you don't necessarily know, but you just gained 1,000,000 points and karmic points. Maybe not 1,000,000. Good afternoon, Katie. And get, oh yeah, you did break. Yeah, you'll break me again. I'm sure it'll be easier this semester. I forget you did break me last semester. I forget when and how, but you did. Totally is, and she's the best. Okay, yes, Michelle. All right, totally is. It doesn't need to be, but okay, if it were, you would. Yeah. Hi, Cheska. Yes, last week. Wait. Oh, the last week of class. Yeah. You did. I just don't remember the exact circumstance, but I agree. I agree. And here comes more people. Okay. We have a big class. All right, we're gonna get me and Michelle. Yes, you don't have to remind me. You don't have to break me again on the first day. Give me like a little slack, but yes, I'm here to be broken again. All right, hold on. So let's see here. So we have a lot of video showing. Thank you. I appreciate it. It might set a record. That is true. That's one record that's one competition we don't necessarily need to have. But yes, it would. Okay. All right, more people coming. Oh, Yavi. All right. We are gonna do stuff for a small change in pace. But welcome back. Happy New Year, everybody. Okay, so first of all, I'm saying I'm saying welcome back to a lot of people, and of course, okay, okay. I'm definitely here to say welcome back to many people. I'm very happy to see them again in this room. But I also, let's be clear, I'm also here to say welcome to many people. So some people have been with me, but everybody here has taken physics before. I'm pretty certain of that. Some people have had the mixed bag pleasure of being in my class before, but I know there are some of you that I'm welcoming, and we are all welcoming. Some of you may know each other from other classes, but I'm definitely welcoming. For example, I hope I don't get this wrong. For example, Victoria, welcome. Allison, welcome. Hold on, more people are still coming. Oh, this is a very big class for an online. So, and maybe if you want to put in private chat or just somehow acknowledge if I'm saying your name right, or if you just want, I know you already said hi, most of you, which I appreciate, but like, hello, Victoria, welcome. Maybe in the private chat, if you just want to put like, if you took Physics 203 last semester with Professor Talley, or if you took Physics 1 in some other institution, or so, if you want to go public, feel free, please, like Victoria. And if you want to introduce yourself in public, feel free, please. But I'm not trying to put you on the spot. But I do want to make sure that I'm like addressing you properly. So if you don't want to go public in the private chat, if you could just like tell me how best to address you, tell me where you took physics, the first physics course, or any concerns or anything. If again, you could, and good afternoon to someone who just, good afternoon. Yeah. Well, I won't, good afternoon, private chat. Okay. Yeah, Chris. Well, if you don't already know Chris, you'll know him soon. Okay. Right. So again, welcome, Brooke. welcome. Oh, there's, yeah, okay. All right. Oh, that's a thumbs up. Thank you. Wait, but I forget what that, thank you, Shy, and welcome, Shy. And welcome back, Shy. Oh, Allison, thank you. All right, now you're doing. Oh, Victoria, I'm sorry. Wait, what? Okay, sorry. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Did I say Victoria? I didn't mean Victoria. Okay, thank you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm totally okay. Wow, that's on me. Sorry, but okay, Allison. Yes, thank you. You took it with Tally. Perfect. Victoria, whoa, that was weird. I didn't mean you. I meant sorry. We got Allison. Okay, thank you. Yes, yes, you did. Um, but welcome again. Welcome back again. Oh, there's Harrison. Okay, thank you. Ah, good, good, good. Welcome, Harrison. Got you. Okay, people in the private chat. Okay. Thank you, people in the private chat. So I won't, but good. All right. Um, yes, no, I know who you are, Victoria. I don't know what I'm thinking. I do know who you are. But okay. So welcome to Harrison. And again, tell me about pronunciation if I'm mispronouncing your name or pronouns or anything like that. Like, welcome, Harrison. Welcome, Fariel. Maybe tell me about the pronunciation there. Welcome, Brooke, and welcome, Allison. Okay, more people coming. All right. Um, so the first thing I want to, okay, we'll start using the board here. Hold on. You should be able to see the board. Yes. Okay. I'm going to start writing a couple of things on the board right now for everybody. I mean, this is slightly old information for some people, but it's kind of important and particularly important for anybody who doesn't, who I don't know well yet. So here it is. Sorry. You can see this, right? Okay. Yeah, everything I'm writing right now, I mean, it is in the syllabus, but I want to make it clear again, especially because one thing that's important about today is always exciting for me the first day of 204. I love 204. I hope you know, or I hope it's clear that I love physics and I love teaching physics. I particularly love 204. I at this point in my life, maybe it's even fair to say, if it is a competition, maybe I like 204 even more than 203. And I like it in part because we spent 203 sort of like learning how to learn physics, maybe in a way, or learning how to think about it in a certain way. And then 204, now that we've ramped up, I feel like then we really take off and we like do some heavy, deep physics. Physics is still really excites me. I also like it because I know that everybody's had some physics under their belt at that point, and there's always this issue that I know a lot of the people in the room on the first day, but not everybody. I want to make it clear on the first day that you shouldn't feel like that you've missed anything or something like that. Um, if you didn't happen to have me before. So one thing is definitely once we get rolling, at any time all of you can reach out with any questions or about how the course works or things like that. I'm at this email address, or as many of you know, that the texting number, I really mean it, and I hope that people that are in the class that can confirm to other people. I do mean it. You can text me. I don't put that in the syllabus because it's like not an official. I mean, I don't know that I'm officially supposed to do that, but and if you can't read my handwriting, let me know in the chat. But it does say 413-717-0382. You can text me there. And in some ways, I'm much better. In some ways, I'm better with texting than email, especially if this is to everybody again, a reminder, whatever. If you ever have a question that in any way, if I answered it quickly, it would like ease your anxiety, it would calm you down, it would make you feel better and more confident in the course or in life. If as then I'd like to do that if it can be done. So the rule of thumb is if you can come up with a question by text that takes you longer to type than for me to answer, i.e. a yes or no question, or like a multiple choice question, or like a what is the date of the exam question. If it's short and sweet, and by me answering it quickly, you could be a lot calmer. Just do it by text, and I will answer it more quickly. As long as it, okay, so feel free. What you can't do is, again, this is for people that don't know me. Don't text me like, I wasn't in class the last 3 days. Can you explain the material? Like, no, not by text. I mean, no, right? You can so that say, can we make an appointment or something? That you can do by text. All right. So speaking of appointments, it's essentially the same as last year. And so again, the reason I'm like largely right now trying to welcome and address people that I don't already know is to make this clear. The expectations, the course structure, the basic way things work, the basic sense of weirdness is all the same as Physics 203. And that even if you did have Professor Tally, it is largely the same as that, largely. Although, but I have some quirks and some slightly different things that you'll learn about. But if you happen to have had 203 with me before, then the whole routine is the same. The grading, the one midterm exam, one final exam, et cetera, et cetera. So why I want to make sure that anybody who's new, like immediately feels comfortable that they can reach out and ask me, like, how does this work or how does that work? You should do that, you people, because sometimes I'll just assume that people know, and I shouldn't do that. So my office hours, okay, are one, this part is in the syllabus, of course, but um, okay. So to make this clear, and again, some of you know this, some of you have taken advantage of this. Some of you, so here's the deal with office hours. First of all, to all of you, when the Zoom period ends Monday and Wednesday, I mean, at 1:30, when this Zoom period ends, I will always, unless I have like something specific that I tell you about, I will not leave the Zoom room and I will not close the Zoom room until everybody's gone. So I wait until and I'll turn off the recording once class is over. Oh yeah, that's another thing. We do record these. We'll talk about that if that's not clear. But I'll turn off the recording once it hits 1:30. But then I will remain for any like last minute questions or last minute requests to make an appointment or something like that. But also, I'm going to say this semester, because it happens that I don't have a 3 o'clock or whatever this semester. I'll just say also officially, I will stay for like official office hours on Zoom. For again, if no one hangs out or no one tells me in advance they'd like to come, then I'll probably shut the Zoom room and leave. But I will. But if you have like actually something you want to do, even if it's for like a half hour or something, if you can give me a heads up in advance, that's even better. But you should assume that with some exceptions, I'll just stay available on Zoom, for like whatever it takes, for up to an hour or so on Mondays and Wednesdays right after class. Okay. But then also for physically, many of you know you can find me on the fourth floor in my office on the fourth floor on Tuesdays from 11 to 1. There too, it's best to make an appointment. It is best to let me know you're coming because my time is very compressed. So I'll run around and do things if I don't think anybody's coming. But so physically on Tuesdays, on Zoom Mondays and Wednesdays after class. And then also you can always reach out and make an appointment. We can make a phone appointment or a Zoom appointment or whatever. But that's basically the bottom line is if you have a crisis of faith, if you're having like anxiety or whatever you want to call it, like something that's like freaking you out in the class, I would encourage you to text, not to have a big discussion with me about it, but at least you put it on the table and say, I need you to assure me of blah, or I will feel better if I at least know I can make an appointment with you on Zoom for this Friday. So just do that by text and I will get back to you. I like to think fairly quickly, like fairly, like, within an hour or some usually, or at least that day at worst. Okay, anyway, that's that. Stop me at any time here now if you have any questions. Okay, I'm looking at the chat. Oh, wait, I'm looking at the chat just, and again, as you can tell, I mean, again, those of you who know the deal, it's the same deal, okay? I mean, for good or for bad. I think the material is harder. I will say that. It is slightly harder to do well, but we'll talk about that too. But you've already proven that you can if you're here. So don't worry. I think the material is also more interesting, but the routines are the same. So so one thing to make clear for those of you who are new is, yes, this is highly synchronized. You will see, or maybe your friends will hopefully tell you, like, I'm here trying to talk at you for an hour, 15 minutes. The more you guys can talk and participate in the chat or make weird jokes, as this group of people tends to do, like, the better. We are here together. We're trying to make this as close as we can to an actual human interaction in 2 dimensions. Okay. It's not a document exchange. Nothing is required, but a lot is encouraged, such as showing video and putting things in the chat. All those things are rewarded and encouraged and noticed and help the class and help your grade. I hope the people who took this last semester will tell you for the most part. But nothing is required, but everything is encouraged. And we're not going to stop talking until 1:30. Like, we're going to do stuff for good or for bad. All right. Usually it'll be physics. Right now it's like, all right. So I'm looking in the chat. I like to take the chat seriously. Okay, wait. Okay. So some people took it with Walters. It's awesome. It's very similar. Well, Walters and I are sort of carbon. Oh, actually, I don't know which Walters you mean, but I am sort of carbon copies of both Walterses, or they're carbon copies of me, whatever. It depends who got in the time machine first. The one main difference between me and the Walters and Tally, I mean, we all are cut from the same, we're all built in the same physics teacher lab or whatever. And I love them all and admire them all. The one difference is I have this crazy whole system for participation on Zoom that some of you know called the game system, which I will explain to people who don't know, and maybe I'll explain more by text or more on the side. But that is something that I don't think to this point Walters and Tally have picked up and adopted. So we do want to get used to that. And it's just the bottom line of the whole system is every way that you participate, you get points for. It's really true. And they really do count in your grade at the end. You'll see in the spreadsheet. They do. They can make a big difference. There's no way of not participating that gets punished, but there's tons of ways of participating that get rewarded. That's the bottom line. That's different between me and, I mean, they reward it too, but I think it's more explicit in this class, I think. But okay, I'm just looking at the chat again. So, all right. So e-permit from Brooklyn College. Great. I love Brooklyn College. Not that it's a competition among boroughs, of course, but if it were, I think we know. I mean, I think we know that the best borough rhymes with Schmucklin. I'm just saying. I'm not saying I was born there and lived most of my life there. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that I've lived in almost every neighborhood of Brooklyn, except for the ones that you'll name immediately and say, is this where you lived? And I'll say no. But I'm not saying I have a soft spot in my heart for Brooklyn, but I totally do. Okay. I love Staten Island too, whatever. But come on, really? No, okay. And Queens is complicated. Okay, I know half of you from Queens. I'm sorry. What can I tell you? Okay, I'm just kidding. If you're offended, put it in. I don't know. All right. So I'm just looking in the chat. You would spam my phone with me. Yes, that is actually accurate. You know what? Michelle's right about blocking Chris. If it were a competition of who I would block, it could be Chris, but it's not a competition. And I don't block students. No, I mean, you gotta, yeah. Whoa, wow. Okay, I'm not blocking anybody. I'm just being sarcastic. Okay, if you, oh, that's very nice what Katie says in the chat. Thank you. Okay, well, yeah. I mean, I would agree with that too. I mean, okay, I'll just leave it at that. But yes, I would love even if I can, even if any of you, and this was like very true for Katie. Honestly, I mean, yeah, even if you can make a point of just like sort of coming early, just to like introduce yourself so I know who you are in 3 dimensions, like it does make me understand you better and helps me meet you where you're at. Like, I mean, it's very nice that Katie would say that because I do feel like that helped us, but whatever. Like, yes, it does make a difference if somehow I can get to know you, whoever you are. And that includes people from last semester that I'm still getting to know better now. Like, what it just helps. Okay. Mercedes is Mercedes is, yes. Wait, but isn't that spelled wrong? Isn't that like, okay, whatever. Okay. Oh, Michelle Q, you're from Brooklyn. I should have guessed because you're so cool. I mean, what? Okay. Yeah, oh, look, people are from Staten Island. Let's not be haters. I mean, let's love Brooklyn first, obviously, but let's not be haters. And let's not even talk about New Jersey, because New Jersey is vastly underrated. Okay. But for good reason. Okay, what? I did not say that. Stop. You're already getting me. You're already breaking me. Okay, oh, well, okay. Well, Michelle has spoke. Michelle F has spoke. I'm assuming you can see the chat. So I'm just like, and this is not a podcast. So like read at your own peril. But okay. I'm just looking just in case. Felix is actually very sick. Thank you for asking. Yes, Felix is I mean, he's not very, I mean, well, he comes from me. He's psychologically damaged, but he's sick. We can most definitely, all right. All right. Felix got whatever I still have, which we all still have, which is not COVID, but is some, I don't know, I think we have scurvy or like rickets or some old fashioned. We all think we're such intellectuals. Like I have, I don't know, like TB or something. I don't. I'm just okay. I shouldn't joke about old fashioned diseases. They have feelings too. Okay. All right. So I went through the chat, but the point of why I just went through the chat is also to encourage, again, those of you who are new, and I don't need to keep singling you out, but I want to make it clear, this is your class as much as anybody else's, maybe even more. So I want to make it clear too, I take the chat seriously and I take direct chat super seriously, just to remind everybody. Okay, not damage. Damage was a little strong. Sorry. You see, I get very distracted by the chat too. I take the chat seriously because any way that this class can be run more by you than by me is better. I mean, except with the occasional physics equation that maybe I know better or something. But so the thing about direct chat, let me remind you all, direct chat is one of the features that we could never do in a physical classroom, right? It's like one of the few gifts that Zoom brings us that actually, when used properly, can like help people in ways that can never happen in a physical classroom, right? Yeah, and I try to use it sometimes for actual work, like giving you problems and then having you answer them in direct chat, blah, blah, blah. I don't know how much that's going to happen today, but I want to just remind you all that in direct chat, like it's not just that you can tell me something that other people can't read. It's that you could tell me something without anybody knowing that you even told me something, right? I mean, that's like a true cover that actually helps a lot of people feel comfortable pursuing their own education in a way that like they need. And like there's a lot of jokes in this class, but I seriously believe in that. And so here's the deal with direct chat. Like, and to this day, I mean, maybe people have put some jokes in direct chat, but to this day, knock on wood, since COVID, I can't think of a student or a person that's like abused it. I don't even know what that would mean, to be honest. Like almost anytime someone's put something serious in the direct chat, they were putting something in that got accomplished and helpful to them that they couldn't have done otherwise. So what I do is I do read the direct chat and I do encourage you to use it. My one thing is, if you put something in the direct chat, I will not use your name. That's the point. I won't say who did it. I will sometimes, if I think it's something that a lot of people are struggling with, I may refer to its content in front of everybody. Like if someone says, I really thought question 2 on the exam was unfair, or like, or whatever, or like, I really still don't get velocity, even though we're like 4 months in, right? Something that you think is embarrassing, so you don't want me, right? Blah, blah, blah. So I won't call you, I won't embarrass you. I think people should say stuff like that. What I might do is say, okay, by the way, guys, in the direct chat, like there's some, or in the chat, there's like some admissions of some still confusion with velocity. I think this applies to many of you. Let's talk about velocity right now. Like, okay, like the direct chat can help us all. It turns out a lot of times you think you have a concern, you think you're the only one, and you're totally not. And it's like super helpful even to find out that you're not crazy or alone. So you just need to know that, especially if you're new to the room, you need to know that I will sometimes take like I even just referred, maybe I shouldn't have, maybe that was a little dicey that I just referred to one of the references of where people were coming from. I probably shouldn't have done that. I'll be more careful, but I will refer to content like, but I won't ever say anybody's name that they put in the direct chat. Okay, because I do want you to. All right, I think that makes sense. All right, I'm keeping on going on. Okay, Felix is my son, right? I have 2 sons, but he's the young one that's still around. We definitely will invade this class from time to time. Oh, no, you might not really see him because usually he'll be at school. We're at a different time of the day than last time, but we'll see. Okay, great. Now we have a question in the public chat from our good friend Shai, who's back. Welcome back, Shai. Very legit question, and it actually helps to get us rolling, which I'm sure some of you regret. Okay, so the homework that's due tonight is it supposed to follow the 5-step method? So great. So first of all, she's observed that there is homework due tonight. There is. And yes, homework. Okay, so I'm gonna do a check in a second. I'm assuming, I believe. Okay, wait. If you're here, one way or another, well, I'll check. But if you're here in the room, it means you got my email, which means I think that you did register for Google Classroom. We do have to verify that in a moment. It is absolutely true, but I think this applies to the. Oh, sorry. So I still haven't answered Shai's question. Oh, someone's thumbing up. Sorry. So the short answer to Shai's question is no. And the long answer is no. No, I'm just kidding. The short answer to Shai's question is tonight's homework 1A, which I will address in a moment, which in fact we're going to do here together pretty much. That will not require the 5-step method. That's more of a let's get things going kind of exercise, like a fun thing. It's also meant for the purposes of making sure on day one that we're all good with Google Classroom, which I do believe. I mean, I know that Professor Talley uses and Professor Walters uses, so that should. But then again, some people are coming from other colleges. So one thing we're going to do today to actually get done is we are going to do the first assignment, homework 1A, right here and now, like in a minute. You're actually going to turn it in today during class. It says it's due at midnight tonight. If things go smoothly, you should be able to turn it in during class. You don't need to overthink it. There's no right or wrong. I mean, basically, you're going to get full credit on this if you just do it. Basically, if you do if you just address the questions on it, you don't have to do the 5-step method. That is something I will talk to people about. Again, I know that some people are coming from other colleges, and maybe that's where we'll have a little text exchange so I can clarify for you. But the 5-step method is something that I do require for most regular homework assignments, physics homework assignments, such as the one that is in principle due next class. Homework 1B that you'll see in Google Classroom. I will stop in a moment and take a breath and make sure we're all seeing Google Classroom, but assuming you're in it because you're here in the room, you'll see in Google Classroom that there's a homework 1A. We're going to do that in a couple of minutes. And you're going to get, ideally, by the time this class ends, you will have turned it in and you'll get full credit for it, assuming you do it in the right format. Because that is just to make sure that we're all good with how point exchanges work. Okay. And then it'll give me something to talk about. But that's homework 1A. Then homework 1B will be due the beginning of next class, 12:15 on Wednesday. Homework 1B, in principle, starts off being questions about some old physics, depending on what professor you had. In principle, it's about mechanical physics. I'm not saying it's easy, but and if we get time by the end of this, well, I'll tell you actually right now, the main equation, I'm going around, the main equation you would want, main equations you would want for like the first 3 questions on homework 1B, the main, I'll even write these right there. Hold on. I'm jumping around a little bit. I apologize, but just to try to get you all. Okay, here, let me summarize. Okay, to summarize. So I'll slow down a second. We are going to try to get some stuff done today, but yeah, homework 1A is like to get us off the ground. We'll do it together sort of in a second, and it'll frame our first discussion. Then homework 1B looks more like regular physics. Excuse me, it is regular physics, and it's meant to transition us from classical mechanical physics, the content of physics 203, into the physics of 204. I'll explain what the difference is and what that transition's all about. Like, I'll explain that when we're going over homework 1A. But so homework 1B is like a regular physics homework. It does require the 5-step method. You should take it seriously. You should show all your work and stuff like that. But we're going to be on it for a while. It's a long assignment. We're not going to get through going over it on Wednesday. I could tell you right now. Sorry, I could tell you right now that like for years and years and years, like it takes us the first few weeks to go over the very first big assignment, because in a way, all of the parts of this first big assignment kind of lead to pieces of material that we need for the rest of the semester. It kind of frames the semester, or a big chunk of it. So I'm telling you right now, and you might have even noticed in the Google Classroom, like there isn't the assignment 2 is not due right away, right after this. There's like still time. I think it's due like the following Wednesday or the following Monday or something. It's not due the next class. So we're going to be on homework 1A for a while. There's no way we're going to get to the last question of it on Wednesday. No way. And I'll tell you right now that it all builds to the very last question. The very last part of homework 1B is hard, no matter who you are. And even if you do a whole ton of web research, which is not considered cheating, if you're honest about it and you try to actually understand the web research that you get rather than just like writing it down as your answer, it's hard. It requires thinking. We're going to talk about it all. What I want, and I don't expect you to nail it. In fact, if you nail it like right away, then I want to know what your background is, and I'm either really impressed or I'm suspicious. I'm talking about if you nail the last question on homework 1B. So all of this is to say that for Wednesday, you're going to make a valiant attempt, like a first draft, at doing a bunch of what you can for homework 1B. I'm going to tell you some equations right now that will be useful that you may or may not recall from physics 203, like what homework, what, oh, so sorry. Oops. Okay, these equations that I'm writing here to different levels, depending on where you're coming from and stuff like that. These equations are in principle from classical mechanics, like F net equals ma. Everybody knows that. Well, I mean, everybody's seen that. Newton's second law. F equals negative kx. Some people have seen, some people have not, but that's the force, the specific force exerted by a spring, which is what homework 1B is all about. Uh, it's called Hooke's law. Equation 3 is conservation of mechanical energy. Like the total amount of kinetic plus potential at one spot over here is the same, must be the same as the total amount of kinetic plus potential energy at some other spot over here. If a system, if all the forces doing work on a system are conservative. So some people have seen the equation written, like obviously people have seen different things written different ways. This equation C, some of you have seen it written something like that, or like with 1/2 mv squareds and stuff in it. Some people have seen it different ways, but another way to write it that may be more familiar to some of you, especially those of you who like had me, another way that's more familiar is the net work is over here, like on the side, D. The net work done on a system is the change in or the transfer of kinetic energy. They ultimately come to the same thing, though, C and D. Okay, these four equations, I'm just giving you like a hint or a starting packet, a starting basis. These four equations will get you through. If the more you remember them or recall them or find your notes or look them up or practice with them, these four equations are the way to get through the first, well, definitely the first 5 parts of homework 1B. I mean, definitely the first 5 questions are answered directly with these equations. And then really indirectly, even questions 6 and 7, or however they're numbered, basically all of them, directly or indirectly, come from this stuff. Until you get to the last one. So in theory, okay, again, I'm sort of all over the place, but homework 1B is our transition homework. It starts by being sort of a review. Recall, here's what we came out of 203, sort of having some familiarity with, and then here's where we're going. By the very last question, it's where we're going. So again, right now I'm telling you, write down whatever you do or do not understand about the last question. Write about what you think you know that's helpful. In other words, right up through step 3, you should definitely be able to do step 1, step 2, and step 3 of the 5-step problem solving method for the very last question. Then when you get to step 4 of the problem solving method, you'll maybe get a little stuck, and I'll totally understand that. And if you're honest about it, say, this is where I'm stuck, I don't know what to, I'll totally appreciate that. It won't be a problem. And you'll have, as many of you know, you'll have more time to revise and re-upload and resubmit this for all of the points. But don't just leave the last question blank. The whole purpose of the 5-step method is that you can always do step 1, 2, and 3, really, for any problem with the 5-step method. So you're going to try your best to do all this. We're going to see what part of it's also like informally diagnosed, like we'll see what we know, what we need to sharpen before we move on. So just be really honest about it. That's what's due first thing Wednesday, class. The 5-step method that I'm referring to, that many of you know about, I'll explain it in more detail when I start going over these homeworks. I'll remind you all of what it like. And some of you, I mean, even the people have had me. I mean, like obviously some of you are more comfortable with it than others. So I will explicitly talk about what I mean by the 5-step method when I start going over this homework on Wednesday. Okay. But for those of you who have no idea what I'm saying, whatever, there is a sheet in the Google Classroom under tools. Under tools, there is a thing that says 5-step method. And the file name is crazy, but the entry says 5-step method. And it's just one sheet. And if you open up, it's a quick summary of the 5 steps that I'm looking for every time you do a problem for homework or for an exam. And it's the 5 steps that I'm looking for, such that if you do all those steps, even if you get the wrong answer at the end, you could still get full credit. Conversely, even if you get the right answer, if you don't show all those steps, you can still lose a lot of points. And it's how I grade on the exams. It's like, it's a rubric. If those initials for those steps are what I'm looking for on exams. So I would highly recommend, please, if you're new to this class or new to me or new to this institution, look under tools in the Google Classroom and see the 5-step method. It'll give you at least a start, and then we'll discuss it in more detail. Okay, wait. So long answer to Shai's question, but thank you for her question. It got us going. She also knows she's going to get points for asking that question. I'll explain all that to more people on Wednesday. But like the game portals are up. So she asked a question so she can like submit it for points. So the answer to her question is right. You don't need the 5-step method for 1A, which we're about to do. Oh my God, speaking of fancy, oh my God, wait, hold on one second. Sorry. Okay. So you don't need the 5-step method for homework 1A, which we're about to do, but you do need it for homework 1B. And homework 1A is in theory due at midnight tonight, but we're gonna like do it now. Homework 1B is due dysentery, right? Homework 1B is due first thing Wednesday. All right, that was a lot. What I'd like to do in a minute is just get us rolling and have us all do homework 1A sort of like now and together. Um, um, and turn it in so we can all see that the system is working. And okay. Okay, so let me do this. First of all, just let me get there are, okay, 1, 2, 2, 3, 8, 16. Oh, I can never do this. There's 15 plus, okay, 14 plus. So there's 22 people in this room right now. And in Google. All right, I'm going to read out names. I think that's if I read out your name right now, it means I have you in the Google Classroom. And if I don't read out your name, it means please please acknowledge in the direct chat. If you don't hear your name called, please let me know in the direct chat. And in fact, to speed this up also, this might help. If you already know that you're not in the Google Classroom, I'm going to put the link in the chat right now. Even if you've never used Google Classroom before, I like to think it's pretty straightforward. Again, to be clear, from here on in, Blackboard is just a link to Google Classroom. Everything happens in Google Classroom from now on. So you need to be in the rosters. So even if you've never used it before, if you just go to this join link and enter an email address that you have. It can be any email address. It doesn't have to be Google. It doesn't have to be John Jay. But it does really need to make your name clear. Your email address, and I've had this every semester. I have this problem. Your email address, you could be the coolest person in the world, like really. But if your email address is like Cool Cat McGee 777 or whatever, like a OG man, I'll kill you, whatever, like Fortnite forever. Like that's cool and everything, and my son will love you, but like then I'm like giving all the grades to like Fortnite forever. Like I need to know your email address is the only way your name appears in Google Classroom. So please choose an email address that actually has your name in it. Okay, so now I'm gonna read the names that are there. If I don't read your name, please direct chat me and let me know that we have to help. So I have. Okay, I have Yavi, welcome back. I have Mohammed, welcome back. I have Shai, welcome back. Michelle F, welcome back. Emily, welcome. And thank you. And I think you communicate, right, awesome. Welcome. Paulina, welcome back. Brooke, thank you and welcome and thank you twice. Allison, welcome and thank you twice. Like you guys have all like acknowledged your existence to me in more than one way. I totally appreciate it. It makes a huge difference. Welcome. Awesome. Let me know how I can help. Katie, welcome back. Cheska, welcome back. Michelle Q, welcome back. Victoria, welcome back. Sorry about that. Oh, see, you know why? Oh, I know why because your last name's not in your email address. So I never like landed in my soul in the same way as okay, that's my defense. Am I being defensive? Yes, I am. What's it to you? I am being defensive, but that's why. See, I know now that I'm seeing Victoria's name in the thing, the way it looked now I know who but see, I don't know what, it's my fault. It's still my fault. All right. Chris, I'm not even going to discuss. No, welcome back. Jada, welcome back. Freddie, welcome back. Fariel, I don't think I'm pronouncing your name right, and I don't want to keep doing that. I apologize. Please let me know how to do it right, but welcome, and thank you for totally being on top of all this. Maria, welcome back. Totally on top as well. So if I didn't call your name, we need to like fix that. Like, oh, I'm good. Oh, really? Okay, thank you. Oh, okay. Excuse, excuse, it is kind of an excuse, but see that. Okay, all right, no, okay, thank you. Okay, no, I totally. Okay, I'm gonna shut up. And thank you, Fariel. Okay, but see, so it's like Ariel but Fariel. Is that right? Okay, exactly. Oh, okay, okay, good, good. Then maybe that'll. All right, good. Thank you. Nice to meet you, and thank you. And by the way, you're gonna see Fariel and others once I explain this to you, and again, maybe I have to do it like maybe you'll just figure it out right away, or maybe I'll have to explain it. But like you don't even realize how many you just got points in like 40 different ways, not just for participating. Well, all right, here's I'm gonna give a quick example right now to Fariel and anybody who's new. Just it's easiest to just explain these things as we go. Like I keep saying there's homework due tonight and doing Wednesday. That's true. But then you'll also notice, I'm assuming all of you that I just read your names, you can see Google Classroom in front of you, I imagine, and you'll see that under classwork, there's all there before it gets first there's my Zoom address, okay, and then there's the YouTube stuff. Oh, we need to talk about that, I guess. But after that, there's before homework 1 with the official homeworks like simple harmonic oscillation homeworks, there's homework 0 called game. Okay, all the game, that's where you get all these participation points, all of you, like any of you. Like um you'll see that it's true. In fact, did I sign it? I think I did. Yeah. Technically due tonight at 11:59, like before midnight, in addition to the other thing, there's this game turn 1 homework. Again, I'm explaining this now largely for the benefit of people who have not seen this before. Game at the end of every class, there's a turn in the game. Class 1 is turn 1. And the turn is always the same. It's always the same instructions. It's meant to take you like 5 minutes. It's a check-in. It's like not even a reflection. It's a check-in. What you do, all of you, by midnight for 5 points, you just write on a you just write down or you type into a Google Doc or whatever, some way that you participated today. You literally could even include I said hello in the chat when the class began. You could literally just write down one sentence, I said hello in the chat when the class began, and you don't have to prove it. Like, I'll know. You just say it. I mean, you could screenshot it, but you don't have to. Or if it's more impressive, more specific, like Fariel could say, like, I helped you with the pronunciation of my name, right? Whatever. Or I told you where I took physics last semester, whatever. You just write that down. You just submit it into that portal. Ideally, it takes you like 2 minutes to do. And then I get it. And ideally, it takes me like even less than 2 minutes to just see that you participated some way today. And as long as you turn it in before midnight, you get 5 points for that. I'll explain later where all the points go, but they do go into your grade. I'll explain how they go, but they do go into your grade, your final grade for the semester. They don't, okay, they like matter. If you don't do it, well, let me start with this. If you do it late, like if you do it tomorrow after midnight, you'll get, I traditionally said 4 points instead of 5. I might change that to 3 this semester because it gets kind of annoying. But you'll still get points if you do it like a day late or something, but you'll get fewer points. After a couple of days, let it go. You can't sort of retro do those. That's pointless. It's all about how you participated that day. But you just reflect on any way that you participated, boom, send it in, you get the points. Then I'm saying this quickly again for new people, but then there's all these other portals under the game heading, and all the other portals you'll notice are due like at the end of the semester. They're due like May 1st or something like that. That's because they're not everyday things. You use them whenever they apply, whenever you feel like. So for example, there are other extra, for example, one is for like showing video. If you showed video for 2 minutes today at all, you show a screenshot of that or whatever, say, and you submit like, I showed video on January 28th, and you'll get more than 5 points for that. Like all the other things are more than 5 points. If you show video another day, another time, you submit that day as you just upload another to the same portal that day. So those are just like when they happen, and you have all semester to use them at will whenever you want. Some people really take advantage of them. Some people don't. It's all optional. If you never filled out any of these portals at all, you won't get any deductions or zeros in your grade or anything. So it's all in effect extra points. But so if you don't do it, you don't do it. And if you rock the exams, you could still get an A. That's fine. But this is a way of building up a lot of points if you're concerned about the exams or either way. So for example, so they're all meant to reinforce and reward various different ways of participating. Some people don't like talking a lot, but they take amazing notes. So there's a portal where you just like screenshot the notes you took one day, just show me that you took notes and you actually wrote things down that I didn't write down. You get points for that. I forget what it's called. I think it has the word note in it. But then, okay, to wrap this up, just again, because Fariel's showing guts to like totally like participate today, like I appreciate it, and she's helping me out, helping her out. So like she should know, Fariel, you should know, and other people should know that like not only did you participate, not only did you do some things that apply to various portals. If you look, I can't remember all of them, but like one in particular that you did, there's one portal that says closing a conversational path or something like that. And that means like it means you've acknowledged once we've like resolved some issue, the two of us. Like I asked her if I'm pronouncing her name right, and she said, no, you're good. And then I even said something, blah, 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 and she's like, yeah, exactly, you've got it. She's not only is she answering a physics question or whatever, she's like closing a conversation. It's like a tap back, like in texting, right? She's like saying, yeah, we're good. We have resolved this issue. We can move on. But that is a portal. She can literally, so her one thing when she asked me, or when I asked her name, that one little interchange, she can put the exact same interchange in 3 different portals or something and get points for all of them. You can and should double dip or triple dip. Again, I'm talking to people that don't know this, and it's a fast explanation, but all of those game portals are just any time that you participate in any way that you can see that any of them applies, you just submit it and you'll get the points for that. Maybe not right away, but you'll get the points for that. But every single day, just participating at all, just even saying hello, goes into the turn of that day. I'm just going to ask, now, even though we already did this, I'm going to ask, like, just because I'm putting her on the spot because she's being helpful. Fariel, did that did that blast explanation like clarify it? It may not be 100% clear, but does it sort of make sense what I just like blasted through? Or can any sort of, yeah. All right, that's fair. All right, fair enough. It'll become more and more clear as we go on. The bottom line but thank you for your honesty. I'll try to make it clear as we go on. Bottom line, I'm saying before the one deadline anybody would have to worry about is before midnight tonight. If you participated at all today, and definitely saying anything in the chat counts, just before midnight tonight, just jot down how you participated today on that thing that says game turn 1. Just turn it in before midnight and you'll get 5 points. All the other things you'll understand better as we go, and none of them is due tonight. So it's no issue. Okay, interesting. Okay, cool. Yeah, I like the way Muhammad, it's meant to be what Muhammad said. It's meant to be like easy ways to improve your grade, as long as you're like trying to stay in tune with these Zoom classes and sort of stay in tune with how you stayed in tune. Like, hopefully it is easy. It's not meant to be a trick. I appreciate what Muhammad's saying there. And I do know for a fact that a lot of people's grades were different, better than what they would have otherwise been without this. I mean, that I can tell you. Okay. So it is a lot of information. Yes, I'm gonna slow down in a second. You're right. I talk very fast, but I'm glad. But all this kind of feedback, and there's even a portal for that, by the way. There is a portal for telling me to slow down. If you have the guts to in any way say, can you go back or slow down a little bit? There's a portal that says something like, please go back. If you do it, if you ever say to me, which in effect we could say Fariel just did in a way, then you could just take a screenshot of what you just did when you said it's a lot of information. You could put that in the portal that says, please go back, and just submit it. And that reminds me that you had the guts at some point to try to help the pacing of the class, and you'll get points for that. There's also a portal for please go forward, because as you can see, I dwell a lot. I get stuck in rabbit holes easily, and I start talking a lot and like not really adding any value. So there's also a portal if you want me to like move. You're like, it's a lot of information, but I don't need to know it all now. Like, can we just move on? You could say that, and there's a portal for that. Any way that you guys can really keep the class going as best as possible for you, there's portals and points for that. Where do the points go is what Allison is asking. Very fair question. Very fair question. I will give you the quick, and the answer is in the syllabus. I'll give you the quick answer now. It may not make total sense, right now, because I would like to give everybody an opportunity to do the homework and get some points today, but the quick answer is it goes into your final average. The quick answer is this. I mean, this is the honest answer, it's just kind of quick. Your exams will be averaged in a normal way. Like you have a midterm exam and you have a final exam and you have your final lab grade from lab. They get averaged together in a normal way, like add them together, divide by 3, whatever, for the most part. Then that creates your base grade. But then all of these points that you accumulate throughout the semester through all these participations and homeworks, all the homework, but all of these points from homework, regular homeworks and participations, all those points, they create a big pile of points that, like in the hundreds, that at the end of the semester, I divide that pile by one number, the same number for all students. I don't know the number. It changes from semester to semester, but it does not change from student to student. So like you'll have like 200 points or something like that. And the scaling factor at the end of this semester will be, I don't know, something like, let's say 20. And all of this will be in an Excel spreadsheet that you'll get at the end of the semester so you can see how it all works. But so say the scaling factor at the end of the semester is like 20. So that means I take everybody's big pile of points of all these extra points, I divide by 20. And in your case, let's say you had 200 points at the end, which is realistic, like accumulated from all of these homeworks and all this participation. If you had like 200 points sitting in your pile, I divide by 20. And like your neighbor might not have 200. Maybe your neighbor has like 150, but I'm still going to divide everybody by 20. It just gets scaled down by one fair number. So now 200 gets divided by 20. So that makes 10. So then those 10 points get added to your base average to make your final average for the class. Like in other words, all these points. So every point you get, here's a simpler way to think about it. Every single point you ever get on homework or these game participation things, think of, if I put 1 point, you could think in advance, it's going to be divided by something. So it's really like a fraction of a point, but all of those fractions all add up. And at the end of the day, they make something like 10 extra points or 7 extra points or 12 extra points that literally get added to your final average to make your final grade. That's where they go. I know that was fast, but that's the basic. Maybe Allison, if you tell me if that sort of made sense, again, you'll also get points for closing a conversation loop. If that's, I'll say it again over time, and I also can text you and stuff, but the bottom line is they all go onto your final average as extra points. You could think of them as all as extra credit. If you, oh, cool. Great. Thank you, Allison. So she just got points for closing a conversational loop if she submits, but it's all like, you have to submit, like, I don't know how to give you these points unless you, like, I'm not going to remember everything you did unless you, so that's what the portals are for. You reminding me, I did this, I get points for this, and then you get the points. Okay, now we are starting to slightly run out of time. I'm just seeing, wait. Right, okay, I'm looking through the chat. Okay. So what I'd like to do now, even if we don't get to discuss it today, you're going to take out this sheet that says homework 1A, okay? You don't have to do this formally. This is to make sure that like we're on the same system page. So you're going to take out homework 1A. What you're going to do is you're going to try to answer the questions on homework 1A. It's like a little weird experiment that you do right in front of you. It sort of sounds silly. There's no, I mean, there are right or wrong answers, but I'm not going to grade you for right or wrong answers. It asks you to take 2 objects in front of you and try to do some weird tasks with the 2 objects. So it says like, name, like you have a cup in front of you, you name it object 1. Can you even see me? Wait, have I lost my video? Sorry. Okay, so like say this is my object 1 or my thing 1, and this is thing 2. You take the 2 objects and then it asks you to try to do 5 different tasks with these 5 objects. I'm telling you right now, and the sheet tells you right now, some of the tasks are so silly and easy, you could do them in one without barely even thinking about it. That's fine. That's not a trick. And if you feel that that is the case, that you're probably correct. But then some of the tasks are weird enough that they're actually basically impossible, or they're impossible without overthinking it or coming up with some crazy like cheat method that's outside the bounds of this class. So your job, so some of them are impossible. Some of them are so possible they're a joke. So your job is in a moment, assuming you're looking at that sheet, to try to identify which of those 5 tasks is possible and which are impossible, And that's what you're going to turn in as your answers to this sheet. You don't have to make full sentences. You don't have to make an essay out of this. You're just going to acknowledge the questions by just writing down like task 1, possible, task 2, impossible, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. And then there's a couple of thought reflection questions after that, that if you have time, if I haven't called the time yet, you can feel free to answer those questions too. But if you don't get to them, I don't even care at this point. The main thing is, where are you going to answer these questions? Not on the sheet itself. What I want to make sure we're all clear on now before we go on to real homework and exams and all that is, one way or another, you're going to answer these questions on a separate blank sheet. That means either right in the portal, you're going to allow, you're going to pick that function that Google Classroom allows you to, where you create a new document, like create fresh Google Doc, and you'll just type straight in and then submit that. That's fine. That's possibly even ideal. Or you're going to write things down on a piece of paper because you're more comfortable doing that. And I can well understand that once we get to all the mathematical computations. If you're more comfortable working with pencil and paper, which I still am myself, you'll write down on a piece of paper, like answer 1, impossible, task number 2, possible, and then take a quick photograph of that piece of paper, scan it in somehow with your phone or whatever, somehow scan it into your computer, and submit it as a PDF, not as a JPEG. I mean, this is a technical point, but it actually matter. It's part of the reason we're doing this right now. I can always accept PDFs, Google Docs. Anything that can be one file for your entire homework, but think of this as a little practice run on submitting homework. Realize that most of your homework and your exams certainly are going to be multi-page documents. So you need to have a way to submit a file to me that is one file for one big thing, like one homework assignment or one exam. What I can't have is if you have like a 14-page homework, I can't accept 14 different image files. Like the system will accept it, but I can't, because I can't mark it properly, and I can't put one grade on it easily. So one way or another, what we're doing right now with the 12 minutes left, I want you to do this exercise to get your brains going, but I don't so much care what you think the answers are. I just want to see that in homework 1A, you will have submitted some sort of separate document, and a document, like don't put your answers in the message function or something. So you're going to submit a document with at least 5 words on it, like possible, possible, impossible, impossible, possible, or whatever. And if you leave the rest of the questions, that's okay. But you're going to submit a separate document, like starting now, to homework 1A portal. Your name will automatically like be clear from Google Classroom. So I'm going to ask you right now, we have 11 minutes. My goal is that you do this, you try this right now, try your best to assess the 5 tasks. You'll get full credit as long as you just turn it in the proper way. And then we're going to start talking about it. We may not talk about it today. We might have to talk about it Wednesday, which will push homework 1B even farther into the semester. That's totally fine. Like that'll give you even more time to think about it. But so I'm going to start looking at, like, the minute you turn something in, I'm going to try to turn it right back to you. So we'll both know, and you'll get points. We'll both know the system's working. So please, if you have any questions, like you can't find what I'm talking about, you don't know what I'm saying, ask in the chat, private or public. But I'm going to shut up now, and I'm just going to start watching you do homework 1A and see if we can get them from everybody. Oh, 2 people have already turned in. That's awesome. All right, great, great. Wow, I think some people were smart enough to be doing this the whole time I was talking, which is fine. That certainly shows that you know me. Okay, great. And again, I'm not even looking at answers, really. We'll discuss the answers. I'm just looking to make sure you've done it like the right format. All right, awesome. I'll look in the chat. Oh, oh yeah. Oh, sorry. Oh, okay, great. So this thing's in the direct chat. I'm just going to respond to the direct chat. Okay, so it is, oh wait, there's two more, all right. So a lot of people have done it, which is great. Thank you, hold on. I know we have to end in like 1 minute. Oh, sounds like someone's already, all right, okay, wait. So there's two more people. Oh, we're just submitting, yes. Even just, so as far as the direct chat, even just the task part is totally fine. And then you'll never have to do the rest again. If, yes, that's totally fine. I'm really just looking to see that, like that it's on a separate piece of paper and you get like how to do this. So yes, even just 5 words for the task thing would be fine, just not on the sheet itself and not like, not as a JPEG. I don't know if that makes sense, but yes, it's right. And I can let you know, direct chat person who's asking, like, if you have a moment and I won't leave. So if you want to hang out and make sure that so basically to everybody, here's what I'm saying to everybody. It's 1:30. I'm truly excited to see you all. I'm excited for a new semester. I hope you are. If you did it and submitted it to me, hopefully you already got the points back today. But if you like this, the minute you did it, you'll get all the points. The main thing is to start working on homework 1B for Wednesday. Try your best. Do a complete and thorough draft using the 5-step method. Know that you'll have more time to revise later. Don't freak about every detail of correct answers. Just try to show responsibility and authenticity and all of that. Wednesday, we'll start off by first quickly talking about this, but then I'll start really diving into like the physics of homework 1B, et cetera, et cetera. So no one's behind, everybody's good, et cetera, et cetera. But if you have a moment right now, you want to hang out and make sure that you've gotten this right, you got these points, I'm here. So, but other than that, I will see you all at this time on Wednesday. Right, you can't send a picture. Hold on. So have a good day. Yes, great to see you. Have a great day. I'll be in my office at 11 tomorrow if you want to come by. Okay, have a great day. Great to see you. Happy New Year. Let's make this the best 2024 ever. Okay, so I'm not going, I'm looking at the chat. Oh, I'll turn off the recording too.